My name is Haley Andrews, and I am going to be presenting my research paper presentation. My presentation is over dress code and hair code bias in school dress codes. I wanted to determine whether or not these dress codes were innately biased on certain races as well as against certain genders. I did determine through my research that girls on my campus in particular are dress coded 6 times more than their male counterparts. I did also determine that students of color are 3 times more likely to be dress coded due to their hair being worn naturally on my campus. I was able to determine this through personal counting and selection of students in my classes as well as my teaching partners' classes on my particular hallway. So what are the main issues that I found with this research question? I did find that the dress codes and the hair codes on my campus and in my district are racially and gender biased, and I did find that students are being taken out of classes for discipline-related issues that are related to those school dress code violations. So what exactly is the reason behind the dress code violations on my campus? The main issue I found was that girls were wearing crop tops or tops that are shorter than their waistline. The second issue with regard to dress code on my campus involves girls who wear jeans with holes in them. And then the third issue that was really the biggest issue in my mind came into play when male students, as well as transgender students, particularly those who identify as female, wear the same or similar outfits to those students, the female students, who were dress coded and were given discipline consequences, but they themselves did not receive any consequences. So that bias was kind of the main reasoning behind me creating my hypothesis for my research presentation. Now, the discipline measures that take place for any kind of dress code violation includes a write-up or a parental conference. Then the students will receive a lunch detention, an after-school detention, and then even the possibility of a suspension. Now, this is all based on the number of violations they have, as well as what the parent and the student agree to with the administration on my campus. I have seen it go immediately to suspension, but most of the time it just does involve a write-up and then a parent or an assistant principal conference with the student. So what does a dress code accomplish? I do understand the reasoning behind a dress code because we want our students to look presentable and we want them to be professional. But in my opinion, it does not accomplish a lot. Dress codes have seemingly been more negative than they have been positive in my belief and in my time in the education system. So I did want to kind of come into this with an unbiased viewpoint, and I did want to see what, if any, it accomplishes in the school itself. So to do this, I compared and contrasted the multiple dress codes that I was able to find, and I wanted to see if there's a purpose behind having a dress code on those campuses. I was not able to find a particular reasoning behind the dress code, but I did find that students and staff do claim that there are certain reasons that a dress code is in place, but it does not seem to accomplish anything other than those reasons. The dress code is very similar across all of the ones that I was able to find. There are similar wordings, like the left-hand column of this chart describes, and then the questions that I asked about the dress code as in the right-hand side of the chart. Now, in this slide, I wanted to go over who would be in trouble on my campus and why they would be in trouble. So the left-hand student who is in the shorts, our students were able to start wearing shorts this school year, is in a dress code violation because her shorts are too short. Our students have to have shorts that are no shorter than 2 inches above the knee, and because this is a tall student, hers are a little too short. And the student in the middle, her dress code violation was simply because you can see the outline of her belly button, and that is what she would get in trouble for. And then on the right-hand side, you have a student who has a dress code violation of holes in her jeans, even though they are on a relatively small portion of her jeans. You still would have that student written up and given a consequence. Now the issue starts to come into play. Is this a transgender student, or is there a male student who has similar clothing on, and are they going to be given consequences, or are they not going to be given consequences? In the end, 80% of students who are given